the many deck list that's on my website. Today we are trying out Crackling Drake. I haven't tried this card in this archetype before. Previously, that slot's been Bedlam Reveler, which, while Bedlam Reveler is a powerful card in this deck, Bedlam Reveler, like Pyromancer Ascension, is a card that gets hosed by Graveyard Hate. So I'm excited to try out Crackling Drake as a little bit more consistent card. It's a card that will allow us to be a little bit better against things like Rest in Peace and Leyline while they're in play, instead of just getting an 8-mana card stranded in our hand. Also, this Crackling Drake in what's effectively a Xerox deck full of cantrips, it kind of hits like a truck, so I'm excited to see how this feels. This deck, if you haven't seen it before, it's basically a combo burn deck. You get kind of Pyromancer Ascension going, and you burn your opponent out pretty quickly with like bolts and helixes and stuff like that. This is like if Jeskai control could be aggressive, it would be this deck. Yeah, Crackling Drake not only cantrips when it comes into play, but it counts in your exile and graveyard. It's funny that I talked about Chalice of the Void not being very good in general in Modern, because decks don't play a bunch of cantrips, and then like we queue up a Xerox deck into a deck with Chalice on one. I have Abzan cars all set up, canning gear. So you are welcome to push it into today, or it'll be first up on Friday, I believe. So whichever you'd prefer. I'm actually just like not gonna play this matchup. It's like the opponent's deck isn't really a thing, and we're just like, we're one of the few decks in Modern like this deck, and like Grixis Shadow are like some of the few decks that just like really struggle with Chalice of the Void on one. That's like some karmic justice, right? Just like talk about Chalice of the Void not being good, so then immediately play a deck that gets hosed by it into a Chalice deck. I don't think that's true. You concede the full match with a single click by clicking the X in the upper right-hand corner of the league window. I think if you get Chalice going, if they get Chalice going late, you could maybe be okay, but like you just don't have the velocity to like work through it otherwise. Like turn 2 on the play while I have nothing going on is just like not gonna happen. It kinda gets you around Chalice, chat. Like obviously we're not 0%, but you're absurdly low. You're low to the point of like, why are we bothering? Crackling Tribal. Looking for a white source, but definitely take a Spirebluff Canal. Lotus Bloom. Okay. Looks like Ad Nauseum. I think Ad Nauseum's a hard matchup for this deck. I don't think it's close to unwinnable, but I definitely would be surprised if it was on the easy side. That being said, we're gonna have double thing on the play here, so like maybe we could get, if their hand misses a beat, we probably will be able to race them. But if they fire on all cylinders here, we're probably gonna come up a little bit short. Yeah. And so long as we get 3 to 4 matches a league, I think that's fine. Like the stuff on my site very clearly is set up and says we play a minimum of 2 matches, so 3 to 4 matches is an hour plus worth of content. To loot through this path to Exile. I'm gonna go ahead and play this other thing in the ice out. Hopefully we just get to like double flip these next turn. It's like smash for 14. That's pretty bad. That means we might not be able to flip these next turn. I was really hoping to hit a couple of cantrips into some more cantrips there. Or if we cantripped into like double bolt, we needed like if we hit like cantrip plus double bolt or cantrip plus bolt helix, we'd actually kill them next turn. Just like clean actually from 20. All right. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, do 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 do. Give me a cantrip and we'll make it, I swear. Do 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 do. Blue Devotion went 3 and 2. It's confirmed to be a real modern Magic the Gathering deck. This is not the droid I'm looking for. I mean, that's kind of the droid I'm looking for. You get to guaranteed flip these bad boys over. Tapping lands on Magic Online. Can we just... I don't expect graphics to ever be ported to Magic Online, but like, if we could just port the auto tapper to Magic Online, that would be great. That would be great. Alright, so we're going to have them DOB on our turn 5. Unfortunately, with their Lotus Bloom, they are getting set up to kill us on their turn 4 if their hand is good. So if they have Ad Nauseum Angel's Grace, we're dead. It doesn't have Moto's Clock. Moto's Clock sucks. To be particularly blunt, Moto's Clock is awful. I actually like Arena's Clock because Arena's Clock is kind of what Paper Magic would be if we actually enforce slow play. Because Bolt doesn't kill them, they're going to 6. If Bolt killed them there, I'd cast the Serum Visions, but Bolt doesn't kill them, so I'd rather just use my mana efficiently. Am I dead? Looks like it. To the salt off roping though, since it's easy to abuse. I mean, kinda. Like if your deck's actually killing your opponent, it's kind of hard to not abuse that. And like on Magic Online, they can literally make you sit and wait for 10 minutes. Like 10 minutes is a long time. Sunday Breakfast Sausage, thank you very much for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Oh, Twitch username, Sunday Breakfast Sausage. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed. Nah, I'm gonna save the 30 seconds of my time rather than look at the stock Ad Nauseum list. Yeah, resets if they pass priority. Yeah, I've definitely had people salt off like the full 20 on Magic Online. So, am I supposed to trim the Helixes or do I keep them in as reach? What are my last 2 cuts here? Because I definitely want the counter spells, the Wear Tears, the Mentors. No, Blue Devotion went 3 and 2. Trim Serum Visions. I think I'd rather have Serum Visions than Opt. Although I guess Opt lets us hold up counter spells, which is nice. But I kind of want to play my cantrips proactively in this matchup, right? I'm gonna trim the Ops. Serum Visions digs deep. Oh yeah, I forgot to update the title, didn't I? Thank you for the heads up. Currently on Jeskai thing. What do you do if someone salts out and you have to sit there for 10 minutes while streaming? Well, previously we just twiddle our thumbs. Now we could fire up and play some Arena. Or do other things, talk, update my donation queue. The first thing you do is report them. And that's actually that's an upside to playing in friendly leagues again. There's a lot less sodium in friendly leagues in my experience. Maybe this hand's greedy. Just gonna ditch these. I know I can cast the Helix, but I'm gonna need a 3rd land anyways. Never played Destiny 2. I don't really play many real video games. Overwatch was the first real video game I played in a long time. I had a friend who played really deliberately until he was on coverage and the commentators mentioned it. He got so embarrassed by the clip he started playing catch. That's great. That's great. We need to poke more players. Don't be afraid to call judges for slow play. You're not being rude. In fact, I'd argue your opponent's the one being rude for playing slowly. People aren't always nicer when they're gambling for lower stakes, but my experience playing Magic Online is that they are. Definitely not a 100% in one direction or the other type thing, but my experience playing on Magic Online is that people are less salty when gambling for lower stakes. I have assembled basic Lantron, that is true. It is a little awkward that I only have one blue source here. We played a really sweet pseudo combo deck yesterday. If you like pseudo combo control decks in Standard, you should definitely check out the video of us playing, what's it called? We played the Esper Amulet deck. They don't have a bloom on suspend here, so the timer it's going to take them to kill us is quite a bit longer here, which is nice. They just have like Stone Cold Nothing. I assume when they don't do anything like this, they just like have both combo pieces in their hand and they're just like waiting on mana. I'm going to start by casting Sleight of Hand, because Sleight of Hand gives us the best chance to hit another land this turn. Looking to hit a blue source so we can Serum Visions. Alright, so we can't Serum Visions this turn, but I definitely want another blue source for next turn. Oh, I forgot that Ascension triggers Mentor. This card's so much better than Pyromancer when it's good. And then, I mean, there's a non-zero chance we actually kill them next turn, huh? Assuming no Angel's Grace, obviously. Live action reviews of the Razor and the Lisa. So they're at 16. Yeah, Grace has split second. Slaughter Pact. Okay. That's fine. I still have these 2 tokens in play. Do I want to put TT into play here? I don't know that I do. I think I do. Yeah, I think I do. It's like not a combo with these monks, but like the monks will hit a couple of times and then TT will hit like a truck as well, so I think this is fine. Based on the fact that Carnage Tyrant exists, I have to assume that they think split second is fine. Yeah, I'm going to top that, and I'm going to hold this Steam Vents in my hand, I think. Have something to bin to looting next turn. Huh. Oh, they're fatal pushing that. That's actually good for me, I think. This means that if I have to cast 5 spells next turn to kill them. I guess that's pretty unlikely. I don't know, I think we're in a good spot regardless. Especially with this Dispel. I get to turn on Ascension next turn if I want. So I can flash back a Faithless Looting. My day is swell, Cool Runner. Oh, I should always yes this bad boy. Those are Magic the Gathering cards. They can't kill me next turn, right? They could go land, Spirit Guide, Angel's Grace thing. I think I actually just discard these two. I think I actually just bin those two, like shocking the Steam Vents and tech for 6 and pass. One of the things I think Magic players evaluate incorrectly a lot of the time is that, for whatever reason, people who play slowly seem to prefer playing control decks, whereas people who play quickly tend to play aggro decks. And really, like, the inverse of that should be true, right? Like, if you're a slow player, you should play an aggressive deck so your games last shorter amount of turns on average. Oh yeah, they need land double guide, but even then they don't have enough to... Yeah, I don't think they can kill us here. I don't know, I think we're fine either way. But these are Zan cards will do cannon gear. I believe it's already going to be at the top of the queue for Friday, though. I also may or may not be on tomorrow. I'm not sure. Remember, it's minimum stream schedule means no guarantee, but I might pop on for a league or two. We've not played... This is our first real match with the deck. And this is not a match where Drake is good. Hadouken! They could have Angel's Grace or Pact of Negation here. Yeah, nobody complains when there's extra time added to my schedule, right? So the schedule is just minimum stream time, so people can like have minimum floors when to expect me to be around live, but often do more than that, right? Like my schedule is only ever like 30 hours or so, but I often end up streaming 40 to 45 in a week. Kuhwin, thank you for the 3-month resubscription there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. For those wondering why I didn't dispel the Angel's Grace, it's because Angel's Grace has split second. So dispelling that is not a legal play. I'm gonna go ahead and pass here. That Hogland had his opponent dead with the Dispel and just didn't do it. What an idiot. Missed the line. Looted twice, attacked, and then Helixed on their turn. The problem with that is that I don't have Dispel up in case they try and kill me. And I want to just leave Dispel up. Dispel for the Nauseum I think is pretty important there. Did I change the list from one that I have on my site? A small bit. I'm trying Crackling Drake today. I think I added a Dispel to the sideboard too. Again, the deck lists on my website are basically the stable deck lists. These are the deck lists that I've tried and that I know I'm pretty confident are good. When we play them on stream, often I change little things here and there, and then if those little changes feel good, those changes often make their way onto the website after I play them. No, I have the list on my site only has 2 negates in it. I have a Dispel in as an extra hedge against control. I hate losing to Hallowed Fountain decks, chat. Don't we all hate losing to Hallowed Fountain decks? guess I'll keep this one. Elves is a fan favorite. I also really like Elves. If I was gonna play a linear deck without a ton of decisions at the Invitational, it would definitely be Elves. I like that deck a lot. It has a pretty high just give it to him factor. It's a Lotus Bloom. Lotus Bloom starts are so good for the opponent's deck. My health total doesn't really matter, so I might as well just like ditch my basic here. No, green black elves. I think playing elves and not playing Shaman of the Pack is idiotic. I think if you want to play a combo deck, there's better combo decks than elves. I don't like Nettle Sentinel and elves, that's why I don't play it in the deck list that we play. We don't have a Dan command. Cheaters are assholes. Cheaters are stealing from Magic players. Ban cheaters. Ban them for longer than 6 months. Set a precedent. Wizard of the Coast is not hard on cheaters, so people cheat. Wizards of the Coast's current stance on cheating in Magic the Gathering is comical and sad and encourages people to cheat because there's really no punishment. I think the first ban for confirmed cheating on camera, the first ban should be, I don't know, let's say 3 years, and then if you come back and do it again, it should be a lifetime ban. I think it should be a 2 strikes and you're out policy for cheating. I think you should give them 2 to 3 years. Yeah, I agree with that. I think it should be 2 to 3 years for the first time we confirm that you're doing it, and then give you a chance to change and grow, and then you do it a second time and you should just be gone for life. The thing about a lot of people, that a lot of people like when they talk about like, hey, Peluccio, thank you for the 2-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. When people talk about like cheaters and rehabilitation in Magic the Gathering, playing Magic the Gathering is not a basic human right. Sorry, you can mess up your right to play Magic the Gathering. Guess what? You cheated in this hobby card game. Goodbye. Don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out. You don't have a right to play this game. Like Magic players love asinine, obnoxious comparisons for whatever reason, and they compare like somebody cheating and coming back to playing Magic, like giving them a chance like they're coming back from prison. It's like, do you understand the difference between not being allowed to play Magic the Gathering and like literally being locked up for years? Like there's a big difference, right? Like, one could argue that not being allowed to play in Magic tournaments for a time period is like actually like a vacation, right? It's like a vacation from like ass cracks and BO. And then like they come back from their vacation and are allowed to steal more money. They're allowed to go back to work stealing money from honest players. Am I dead? Yay, we're dead. Yay, Magic. Modern has a lot of sweet games of Magic, but it definitely has a lot of pretty rancid games of Magic like this. I definitely don't miss playing matches of Magic like this when we're playing Standard. There are a lot of people who have lifetime bans. Wizard of the Coast doesn't lifetime ban people for reasons related to the game. Reasons Wizards of the Coast lifetime bans people generally. Assault, theft, being a convicted felon and top 8ing a Grand Prix. I think that covers it. It's like assault, theft, and bad PR, basically, are the reasons. The reason Wizards of the Coast bans people for life. Harassment. That's the other one. Harassment. 4. We got 4. Fraud. Organized play fraud. 5. Organized play fraud. Boat Cheddar's already legal. He is legal to come play with the kids again. No, Crackgate did not get a lifetime ban. He got a temporary ban. No, you can play Magic, you just can't top 8 a Grand Prix, Sneaky. Yeah, just don't top 8 a Grand Prix and you'll be fine. I forget sometimes, like, I've just been playing Magic for so long that, like, things like, you know, bow cheddar and, you know, the bannings for that kind of stuff, and Bertoncini, like, all those things stick with me, and it's funny that, like, or it's not funny, it's, like, weird in a way when you think about it, like, there's people that are playing Magic today and, like, involved in Magic heavily, just, like, have no idea that those things occurred in the past, because they're just like those things, just like, oh, yeah, people know that that's happened, when in reality, that's just, like, not the case. Yes, it also depends on the felony. Correct. I think I'm in for both of these, right? I'm like in for Thing in the Ice on 2 and a Spirebluff Canal on 3. Hopefully they are playing Burn and they're not playing Living End. If they're playing Burn, this hand is absurd, obviously. If they're playing Living End, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. Oh, they're playing Living End. Dredge usually does something on turn 1. Copperline Gorge Pass is usually Living End. This matchup's probably unwinnable too. I guess I could maybe... The fact that they're playing this deck makes me sad that I kept Thing in the Ice on top. In fact, I think I'm gonna Faithless Looting here because this Thing in the Ice really doesn't do anything. Actually, putting the Thing in the Ice into my bin is, like, actively good, right? I didn't even think they background... Well, they don't background tech GP top 8s. They just, if they get bad PR because somebody brings up that you have a bad background when you top 8 a Grand Prix, then they'll go ahead and they'll ban you. My biggest issue... I honestly don't have a problem with Wizards of the Coast, like, banning people for a thing. Like, Wizards of the Coast, the thing a lot of people seem to forget is that Wizards of the Coast is a private organization, and they can restrict anyone they want from, like, playing in their tournaments, right? But, like, they need to have some, like, clearly defined criteria. Their lack of transparency, as with many things, is their biggest issue. All right, the fact that, like, we've got this Pyromancer Ascension going means we could potentially have a real shot here. So I'm going to go ahead and bottom this and then top the Sleight of Hand. And then next turn I get to go Sleight, second Sleight, trigger the Ascension, and then, like, have this online, and maybe we can combo burn them. What's going on, Nick? I appreciate the support. You will not be forgotten. And that's hard to forget, right? You have that wonderful little gem next to your name. Yeah, Double Path also going to have a text box. Sometimes these decks play Beast Within in their main deck, so if they have that card, we could be in a little bit of trouble. But if we get to get this Ascension going, we should be in a good spot. No, the copies from Pyromancer Ascension are not cast, they are placed onto the stack. I think I just take this bolt, right? And then we, like, actually just have lethal here. It's like, have, like, a cool 24 sitting in my hand. Actually, I didn't even need the bolt to have lethal here, right? I'm not saying they should be banned. I'm saying that Wizards of the Coast is allowed to do it. Remember, what is right and what is legally allowed to happen are often different things. This match is as close as a shave from Harry's razors. That's fantastic. What an A+ shill. This Double Path is yeet. There's someone who's down with the kids. let's move along here. I don't want to get into this. This is the last thing I'm going to say, I'm going to start timing people out on who are talking about this topic. All I'm going to say is the player in question, if you want to look up the situation, this was years ago at this point, was named Zach Jesse. So if you're unfamiliar with the situation, you want to familiarize yourself with lots of BS that happened a long time ago, that's what you would want to search. I'd like to target this one. So we're going to get rid of both of these things, and then they're dead on our untap, right? We're just like bolt you, helix you. And again, like, this is the combo burn X angle of this deck, right? It's Yeet for strength, Kobe for accuracy. Okay. They just added Gen 4. I feel every time they add a new generation of Pokemon to Pokemon Go, I feel more and more lost. It's just like there's less Pokemon from my childhood that appear on the screen and more Pokemon that look like just like blobs, and I just don't understand. I just don't get it, chat. Change is scary. There were supposed to be more than 150 originally. They ran out of space on the cartridge. Originally, there were supposed to be more. The reason why there's so many Pokemon integrated between Gen 1 and Gen 2, like they have evolutions from Gen 1 to Gen 2, is there were supposed to be more than 150 originally. And they had to cut some out. I think I just want to swap Crackling Drake for Negate here. What's better, Crackling Drake or Thing in the Ice? I feel like both of these are kind of mediocre. I definitely want the Negates. I don't think this is a surgical extraction matchup. Yeah, Crackling Drake probably like flies over and kills them a lot of the time, right? Whereas Thing in the Ice takes some setup. Honestly, I wonder if I'm just supposed to cut all the things and like just board in some surgicals here. What do we think? It's like surgical's not great, but like surgical plus a path means we can beat a fast living end a lot of the time. What do we think of this? Like, I don't think this card's stellar, but I think it's like less bad than Thing in the Ice. They're bringing in ley lines. You think so? I guess if we expect them to bring in ley lines, boarding in wear tear is probably fine. That's probably a good hedge. I'm gonna bring in 2 for now. If we see them have ley lines in game 2, I'll bring in the 3rd wear tear for game 3. Most of your hands with like cantrips and lands are keeps in this deck. Remember, you're basically a Xerox deck, which for those that aren't familiar with that term, it means you just have a bunch of cantrips, to cycle through your deck very quickly. So what your initial hand is and what your hand later ends up being is often kind of different. Looking for an Ascension here. Crackling Drake to put into the bin is actually pretty good here, so I'm gonna bottom that, top the Drake. Wait, if we have Crackling Drake, does that make Thing in the Ice Josh? Is that how that works? Or does it make it Ninja? Drake goes with Ninja now in 2018, right? Topical humor. Ninja goes with Ellen. That's true. That's true. I'm 26 and both halves of this make me feel old. Nah, I think I want the helixes for now. I already played a land. Go. I like my humor like I like my ointments. Topical. That's oddly specific. That gif is awful and amazing. We were drinking that night in my defense. This basic forest is very pretty. There's so much great art in Magic the Gathering. Of course it's a John Avon land. Of course it's John Avon. This should get Abzan Cars to 100 points. Can you push that deck to today? Of course, Cannon Gear. Green-Black Elves is a cut the line as well, Cannon Gear, so it'll be up after Elves. So we'll wrap this league up with Jeskai thing, and then we'll do Elves and Abzan Cars to wrap the day up. Thank you for the support as always. Relevant and humorous meme, preferably referencing 90s childhood and current events. What's going on, Innocent Smith? All right, so we're super dead to a living end. It's my favorite pasta. That's like oddly specific. I don't know that I have specifically a favorite pasta. Yeah, we've got some lands, chat. We've got some lands. John Avon, watch out. I'm coming for you. Technically, discarding Scalding Tarn was wrong here because I don't have a basic planes in my deck to get with these. The Scalding Tarn is like just better than these Flooded Strands. Probably should have kept I probably should have kept Tarn Sacred Foundry there, actually. Your favorite pasta is Baja Mac. That's true. That's true. Mac and cheese. I love the John Avon joke, but I do what I can, Marty. I do what I can. I aim to please. Opponent has yet to find a Violent Outburst, but we have yet to find a Pyromancer Ascension, so... Awkward. They have double Deadshot Minotaur in their bin. Oh, I could find the Negate. I have 2 shots of Negate. Oh, yeah, I should see if they have ley lines. It's a good suggestion. They did not reveal ley line. Yeah, I'm gonna put surgicals back in over these wear tears. If we get ley lined, I'll feel a little bit bad, but I feel like they probably don't have it. I'm gonna get ley lined and die now, though. So yesterday at work, I was talking about eating toast before work. Colleague says, "So you're not lactose?" I said, "I really like toast, so sometimes I'm lactose intolerant," and he rolled his eyes and walked away. Drawing more lands is always an option, chat. Don't be down on drawing more lands now. I would love to play first. Thank you. The amount of helplessness I feel playing this game, this match, feels bad. Definitely feel pretty helpless. We stole game one a little bit, but I definitely think that was an exception to how the match is going to play out on average. I mean, like, so one of the things you have to get used to if you're playing a Xerox deck like this is, while it looks like we drew a lot of lands last game, the thing you have to remember is that we also just, like, drew a lot of cards in general, right? So, like, even though there's only 18 lands in this deck, we see so many cards every game, you're going to draw a lot of lands because you're just drawing a lot of cards. Yeah, I agree, Maxton. This deck really struggles. Basically, the flowchart for if this deck is going to have a good time or not basically comes down to, does the opponent care about Thing in the Ice flipping? If yes, then it's a good matchup. If not, then it's probably bad for us. All right, let's negate. Yeah, any gems you bought during the closed beta got refunded to you. They did not just take your money and disappear. We are 0-2 in this league in game 3 of this third match. Oh, that was a punt. That actually could be a really big mistake. I should have waited to play my land until after I Faithless Looting, because I could have drawn a fast land like I did here. So, like, this is going to come into play tap next turn. It didn't need to. $5 tip for Microbiologist for Sultai Infect. Thanks for the support, Microbiologist. I'd be happy to get that added there. And this is a pretty big drawback to my mistake there. I could have played Ascension and still held Negate up this turn if I would have sequenced my lines correctly. So, like, now I'm going to be, like, a full turn behind, and I can't cast my Op this turn now because I want to hold the Op to trigger the Ascension. So, my whole sequence is a turn behind now because of the way I played my lands. I always hate having to be a responsible adult and stop watching the stream, so have some bits. Thank you, Ban Blood Moon. A+ username, by the way. Wow, that's brutal. Like, now I'm set back a full turn. Like, if I would have played the Ascension out, or if I would have played my lands correctly, I'd have Ascension in play and have gotten to Helix this and trigger the Ascension. Just, like, really punish for my land sequencing. And I think little mistakes like that, like recognizing that I played my lands in the wrong order, is one of the things that makes Magic such an incredibly difficult game to evaluate and get better at, because it's very easy to write this game off as being unlucky and not recognizing that I played my land at the wrong time like I did. And now I think I just, like, have to, like, make them have it here. Like, they're gonna combo me and I'm gonna die, but, like, if they don't combo me, I'm, like, in an okay spot. Alright, I'll keep the Surgical Extraction, but I think I just have to, like, head to the Space Jam now. I'm always just unlucky. And honestly, in my experience playing a lot of Magic, Magic, and it's kind of frustrating in a way, attracts a lot of people who are interested in not taking responsibility for their mistakes. And, like, one of the reasons why they're drawn to Magic is because Magic's a game where if you don't want a loss to be your fault, there's always something else you can blame the loss on. You can always have lost a game because you were unlucky instead of because you made a mistake. Yeah, it's very common for competitive games, but other competitive games tend to not have the variance that a game like Magic or card games in general tend to have, right? And like in other games, like, you know, like Overwatch or MOBAs, you can like blame your teams and stuff like that. Like you can find cop-outs for reasons why you lost in those games too, but I feel like it's harder to do in those games compared to Magic. Card games in general tend to attract that mindset in my experience. It's been a long time. It's been a long memeing road, but glad I stayed. Keep up the great work. Rekindled Soul, thank you for the tier 2 resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. I lost, but their deck was terrible. Most overheard thing. Yep, definitely. I agree. That is something that I've heard a lot too. I can't believe I lost to this pile of terrible Magic cards. I'm so incredibly unlucky. I don't look at decklist while I'm streaming. There's just too much going on. To be fair, you hear that a lot because you top baited with Kiki card. That falls under the funny because it's true, right? So, there's a living end in their graveyard now, which means if they cascade again, I actually just get to surgically extract their living ends, right? Do I just do it now? Do I just do it now? I'm supposed to do it now, right? But I mean, like, wouldn't they have outbursted already? Do I wait? I probably... So, like, the problem with waiting is that my opponent could just suspend Living End. But I guess if they suspend Living End, I'm probably winning anyways, right? The reason to wait is they could have another Violent Outburst. I feel like they don't have cycles because they would have cycled in response to this. Yeah, we're giving them outs to draw Fairy Macabre is the issue. I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm supposed to have just gone for it there. Now that I've waited, I'm like priced into waiting. But I think there's merit to just like going for it there. And now they suspended a Living End, so like now I have to kill them. Yeah, I think I messed up there. I think that was a mistake. I think I done screwed the pooch, chat. I think we done screwed the pooch. This comes in like 3 turns, right? Yep. Done messed up. Have you played an Arclight Phoenix deck in Modern? We have. You can find the Mono Red Steamkin Modern deck. We played it twice. The first time was more successful than the second. There's no point in surgicaling now, chat. They have a Living End on suspend. I am, however, going to bolt now. Huh. Well, now I get to flashback Faithless Looting. White Source is actually lethal. I actually get 4 extractions here, because I get to flashback Faithless Looting to put the last counter on this Pyromancer's Ascension. They beast within the Pyromancer's Ascension. Rough. There was a beast within the other beast. Yeah, they're like nesting eggs, chat. So, and this is something that, this isn't logical, but I know we're actually kind of ahead in this game at the moment, but this game doesn't feel good. And there's no logic to that. There's no reasoning. There's no consistency. This game doesn't feel good to play. And with a format like Modern that has so many decks that are competitive in it, how it feels to play a given deck in given matchups often has to do with whether or not I end up playing that deck. Oh, I think they're dead. Hadouken? Thanks for the beasts. Decks that are decent against combo decks feel good to play against combo decks. Magic Online always needs a kick. That's just how it runs. Everybody, it's funny how since we started streaming Arena, people have been like, Magic Online needs a kick sooner. It's kind of amusing. How are we doing, folks? Welcome. We're battling back from our O2 start with this Jeskai Thing deck. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name's Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic the Gathering 30+ hours a week. We play all constructed on this channel. We play Modern and Standard. This deck, like many decks that we play, is a viewer... I guess this is my deck list. A viewer submitted the archetype, though. Past subscribing and submitting deck lists and archetypes to the stream. The best way you can support my content is by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. Harry's Razors would like to help you get that nice, close, clean shave using code Jeff Hoagland at bit.ly/who-will-shave. You can save $5 on your brand new trial starter kit with them. That starter kit can be as little as $3 with a recurring blade delivery program or $5 with no further commitment. Cardsphere.com would love to help you turn your cards into other cards direct with their players. There's no haggling, and they just take 1% fee off of the top. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mousepads, binders, and bags with them. And of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoaglandia. Please, thanks for stopping by. Hope everyone's having a great Wednesday, great middle of your week. Remember, if you are enjoying my stuff, hit the follow button. Following the stream doesn't cost you anything. Let you know when I go live and with what. Heading on into the fourth match here with the Jeskai Thing Ascension deck. Sure. Little land heavy, but like, cantrip into Ascension, guaranteed trigger Ascension seems good. Cantripping. Wonder how this matchup's gonna be for us. 4 trophy is scary. I would love a Crackling Drake. Thank you very much. Don't mind if it does. Their command for Inked Gaming, just inkedgaming.com. Actually, here's a link right to my page on Inked Gaming. Great. Oh, spells are overrated. This is, it's worth noting here that, like, Crackling Drake in this position is much better than, what's it called would be? What's his name? Bedlam Riddler? A little flooded at the moment. Would not mind drawing a Faithless Looting to kind of cycle through some of this crap. So, because they're a trophy deck, I think I'm actually not going to fetch a basic island and cantrip here. I'm gonna go ahead and just leave this to get a shock land for me, so that way I can leave the basic in my deck to get out if they Assassin's Trophy me. It's a real shame. We have like so many things to kill this tireless tracker, and like now it's just like getting out of range completely. Is someone talking about an issue with the noise gate? What's the problem? I guess I'm gonna go ahead and cast this now because we can get a Path to Exile. It's a little bit late. Grab an extra white source here. Got plenty of blue mana. I'm gonna go top here. I don't think I want to cast this. I think I want to wait a turn. I'm gonna put this into play tapped and pass. Yeah, the scry interface is quite good, and like getting to see what's been left on top is great, obviously. If they have Collective Brutality here, they could try and kill me, but I get to Helix them, so I don't die to that, which is nice. What is the issue? I missed initially what occurred in chat. What are people saying they're having an issue with? People are hearing white noise and feedback. I got nothing. Thing in the ice. Definitely in for the Faithless Looting, not in for the thing, I don't think. I think this is we're not beating trophy moment, so like let's not bother. That's fantastic. So I get to do this. I get to go ahead and cast yeah, I'm gonna cast Serum Visions to start. Yep. I'm dead no matter how I slice this, right? So there's Path, Manamorphose on top of my deck. No, I actually can get out of this, right? No, I'm not dead to Quagmire. No, because I'm a land short then. Yeah, I'm a land short. So if I had another land in play, I could Path this and then Manamorphose into Helix the Quagmire. But I'm just dead to this. It's gonna aggressively time people out that just aren't paying attention to the board state. This is a matchup where I want some more threat density, so Monastery Mentor is fine. I had to discard 2 cards in her. I didn't play a land yet that turn, but I had to discard 2 cards, so I just didn't have enough cards in hand. The people that are missing something, you're missing the Quagmire that was in play and I was at 2. I think I trim looting in this matchup. Or Scavenging Ooze deck anyways. Morning, Ken. I guess I keep... Just like, your hand doesn't get better by mulliganing these matchups. Drake's been okay. I don't know, this deck felt really bad today. I have a big problem with playing graveyard-based value decks that aren't doing something as busted as Dredge or Bridgefine. I feel like if you're gonna play a deck that leans on the graveyard in Modern, you probably want to play a deck that like really leans into the graveyard, as opposed to like this one, which just like kind of waffles on the graveyard and then gets hosed by graveyard hate that people are playing anyways. Yeah, Storm's a fine deck. Storm's very powerful. Storm's just very boring, in my opinion. The play patterns that Storm generates just like pretty uninteresting. This is a reason why I cut 2 Faithless Lootings. Yeah, I'm off it. I'm just gonna mosey along. I don't know, I think the Crackling Drakes are probably worth testing if you like this deck, but that league felt pretty bad. This deck is good against like the creature-based decks and decks that play to the board, but there's just so many decks in Modern that just don't do that. Like Living End, like Ad Nauseum. It's a lot of places where you just like your cards don't line up well. Just like I said, basically the TLDR for like the matchup guide for this archetype is that like, is Thing in the Ice flipping going to have an impact in the game? If yes, then the matchup is good, but if it's not, then you're just gonna die. Not your fault, Matt Maxon. I definitely think like this is one of the decks where like if you hit some decent matchups, you'll be fine, but I think there's plenty that give you trouble. If I had to donate to a charity, what cause would I support? I don't know. Usually you want to pick something that's like close to home. Yeah, I don't know that I have anything constructive or useful to say.